Have you ever wondered what happens to love and intimacy as the years go by? Does it fade, or does it transform into something even more profound? In this video, we're diving deep into the journey of love, intimacy, and connection as we age. It's not always an easy road, but it's one filled with incredible lessons, resilience, and growth. Our story, mine and my husband's, is a testament to how love can evolve and deepen, even when faced with unexpected changes. From the vibrant passion of youth to the quieter, yet richer intimacy of later years, we've learned that love is so much more than physical attraction. It's about connection, vulnerability, and the ability to adapt to life's changes together. If you've ever questioned how to maintain intimacy or rediscover connection in your relationship, stay with us. This is a story about redefining love, embracing change, and finding joy in every stage of life. You'll learn valuable insights that will help you navigate your own journey of love, whether you're just starting or well into your golden years. So, grab a cup of tea, settle in, and join us as we explore the beauty and challenges of aging together in love. Trust me, you'll want to hear this to the very end. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. Our story, mine and my husband's, has become a testament to resilience, adaptability, and the enduring power of love. It's a story that shows how intimacy and pleasure can evolve, growing deeper and more meaningful as the years pass. It's not without its challenges, but these very challenges have shaped our connection, making it stronger and more profound. When I was a young girl, I was a dreamer. Like many, I believed love and intimacy were tied to the vitality of youth. I imagined romance as a whirlwind of passion, fueled by energy and physical allure. Then one day I met him, the man who would become my greatest love, my partner, my everything. I can still see him walking into the room, his presence commanding attention. His handsome face, warm smile, and confident stride caught my eye, but it was more than that. There was a spark in his eyes, a quiet strength in his demeanor that made me feel safe and excited all at once. It was as though he carried the world on his shoulders effortlessly, and I couldn't help but want to stand by his side. Our love story unfolded like a dream. In the early years of our marriage, our intimacy was vibrant and filled with the kind of passion that seems boundless in youth. We were explorers, learning each other's bodies, desires, and rhythms. Every touch, every kiss, every shared moment felt electric, as though the universe had conspired to bring us together. There were late-night whispers, laughter in the dark, and the exhilarating rush of discovering new facets of one another. It was everything I had imagined love would be, and more. But life, as it always does, kept moving forward. The years rolled by, and the carefree exuberance of youth gave way to the steady march of time. Our love didn't diminish, it deepened, maturing like a fine wine. Yet, with time came changes, subtle at first, almost unnoticeable, but undeniable as the years accumulated. The first change was physical. My husband, always so confident in his masculinity, began to experience a loss of firmness during his erections. Initially, we dismissed it, thinking it was a passing phase, perhaps caused by stress or fatigue. We didn't realize then that it was the beginning of a new chapter in our intimacy. As time passed, the issue persisted, and other changes followed. His erections became less predictable, sometimes fading before we could fully immerse ourselves in the moment. And then there was the gradual reduction in size, a reality that neither of us had been prepared for. I could see how deeply this affected him. For a man who had always been strong, both physically and emotionally, these changes struck at the core of his confidence. He began to withdraw, avoiding conversations about intimacy altogether. The man who had once held my gaze with unwavering assurance now seemed hesitant, as though afraid of disappointing me. Watching him struggle silently was heartbreaking. He carried a shame that was wholly undeserved, but I knew that in his mind, he felt he was failing me. I couldn't let him carry that burden alone. I loved him too much to let this unspoken pain create a rift between us. So, I decided to face it head-on. I began researching, seeking to understand what was happening and how I could help. What I found was both enlightening and comforting. These changes, loss of firmness, reduced size, and decreased sexual stamina, were entirely natural as men age. They were not a reflection of his worth or masculinity, but simply the effects of time on the human body. Armed with this knowledge, I knew it was time to have an honest conversation. One quiet evening, after we had shared a simple dinner, I sat beside him on the couch. I reached for his hand, holding it gently in mine, and looked into his eyes. "I see you," I said softly, my voice trembling with emotion. "I see how hard this has been for you, and I need you to know that you have no reason to feel ashamed." At first, he avoided my gaze, but I persisted. I told him that I loved him, not for his ability to perform but for the man he was. I reminded him of the life we had built together, the laughter we had shared, the challenges we had overcome. "You are so much more than your body," I said. "You are my partner, my companion, my greatest source of strength and comfort. I love you for you, and nothing will ever change that." In that moment, something shifted. The walls he had built around himself began to crumble, and I saw the vulnerability in his eyes. He opened up, sharing his fears and insecurities. It was a deeply emotional conversation, one that left us both in tears, but also brought us closer than we had been in years. We realized that this was not an ending but an opportunity to redefine what intimacy meant for us. We began to explore new ways of connecting, focusing less on the physical act of sex and more on the emotional and sensual aspects of intimacy. We discovered the beauty of simple gestures, a lingering kiss, a gentle caress, the warmth of holding each other close. We took our time, savoring each moment, and found pleasure in ways we had never considered before. Intimacy became a journey of discovery, one that deepened our bond and reminded us of the profound love we shared. Through this journey, I learned that love is not about perfection. It's about acceptance, understanding, and unwavering support. Our bodies may change with time, but our hearts remain capable of the deepest connections. Together, we have embraced this new chapter, finding joy and fulfillment in the small, meaningful moments that make life beautiful. Our story is proof that love, when nurtured with care and compassion, can endure anything, even the relentless passage of time. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Over time, my husband began to feel secure in himself once again. It wasn't an instant transformation, but a gradual journey of self-acceptance, one small step at a time. As the days turned into months and the months into years, he started to embrace his body for what it was, a reflection of the life he had lived and the love he had shared. Accepting these changes didn't signify the end of our sexual life. Rather, it marked the beginning of something deeper, more profound. We discovered that intimacy could transcend the physical, evolving into a connection that was richer, more pleasurable, and infinitely more meaningful. One of the most important lessons we learned throughout this process was that intimacy is not confined to what happens in the bedroom. It is woven into the fabric of how we treat one another, how we listen, how we care, and how we remain steadfast in the face of life's challenges. It's in the quiet moments of holding hands during a walk, the gentle touch on the back during a conversation, and the knowing glances exchanged across a room. Intimacy is about being truly present for each other, not only in moments of joy but also in the inevitable trials that aging brings. At the heart of it all, what truly matters is how we make each other feel. For years, my husband grappled with the societal pressure that burdens so many men, the expectation to maintain an image of unshakable virility. This pressure, which begins in youth, can become overwhelming as the body begins to change. Men are often taught to equate their worth with their ability to perform, leaving little room for vulnerability. However, what I would like every man to understand is that their true worth is not measured by the size of their penis, the strength of their erections, or their ability to meet arbitrary standards of masculinity. Their worth lies in the depth of their love, the care they offer, and the emotional connection they nurture with their partner. Now, standing on this side of life, I can say with absolute certainty that sex in old age can be even more satisfying than it was in youth. With maturity comes patience and a profound understanding of one another's needs. There's no longer the pressure to impress or achieve. Instead, there's an ease that allows us to savor every touch, every kiss, and every moment without haste. We've learned to be present in ways we couldn't when we were younger. The absence of external expectations creates a safe space to simply enjoy the pleasure of being together. One of the most profound shifts in our journey was the way we came to view our bodies. In youth, we often obsess over the superficial, striving for perfection in the form of toned muscles, flawless skin, and physical performance. But as the years pass, we begin to see our bodies through a different lens. They are no longer just vessels for vanity. They become living maps, etched with the stories of our lives. My wrinkles, once a source of insecurity, now tell the story of my laughter, my tears, and the countless moments that have shaped me. My husband's scars and the changes in his body bear witness to his strength, resilience, and the life we've built together. Instead of viewing our bodies with disappointment or frustration, we have chosen to approach them with gratitude. Every line, every crease, and every change speaks of love lived, battles fought, and triumphs earned. They remind us that aging is not a curse but a privilege denied to many. In this light, the body becomes a testament to a life fully lived, a sacred vessel carrying the memories of decades of love and connection. As my husband adopted this new perspective, I saw a profound transformation in him. He began to release the heavy burden of society's expectations. The size of his penis or the firmness of his erection no longer defined his masculinity. Instead, he found a new kind of confidence, one that was no longer tied to external validation but rooted in an internal acceptance of who he truly was. This confidence wasn't loud or boastful. It was quiet, steady, and deeply authentic. It was the kind of confidence that comes from knowing you are loved for who you are, not for what you can do. This shift in perspective changed everything. It allowed us to connect on a level we hadn't before, deepening our emotional and physical intimacy. Without the constraints of performance-based expectations, we explored new dimensions of pleasure, focusing on touch, communication, and shared vulnerability. Long hugs became as fulfilling as passionate nights once were. Gentle caresses spoke louder than words. We rediscovered the beauty of simply being present with one another, treasuring the moments of closeness that made us feel safe, loved, and cherished. Through this journey, we've learned that aging does not diminish intimacy. It enhances it, providing opportunities to explore love in its purest, most enduring form. Our story is a reminder that the changes brought by time are not losses but invitations to grow, adapt, and deepen our connections. Together, we've proven that love is not defined by the constraints of youth or physical perfection, but by the resilience of the heart and the willingness to embrace every stage of life with open arms and an open heart. Our intimacy evolved in ways I could never have foreseen. What once was fueled by youthful energy and spontaneity gradually transformed into something far deeper and more meaningful. While the frequency of our sexual encounters diminished with time, their significance only grew. Each touch, each embrace, felt like an intentional act of love, a quiet celebration of the bond we had nurtured over decades. There was an unspoken understanding in those moments, a shared gratitude that, despite the years, the changes, and the challenges, we still sought each other out. Each time we connected, it was as if we were affirming that love and intimacy do not fade with age, but instead evolve into something even more profound. We began to redefine what intimacy meant to us, letting go of the societal expectations and pressures we had once unknowingly internalized. Gone were the days when an erection or an orgasm defined a successful intimate moment. Instead, we found joy in the simplicity of being together, in the sensations of skin brushing against skin, in the warmth of a lingering touch. There was no longer a need to chase a goal or meet an expectation. True pleasure came from the act itself, the shared vulnerability, the closeness, and the quiet reassurance that we were still enough for each other, just as we were. What I have come to cherish most about these later years is the emotional vulnerability we've allowed ourselves to embrace. There's a raw honesty between us now, a level of openness that feels like a gift. We talk about the things we once might have kept to ourselves, our fears, our insecurities, the challenges we face as our bodies and lives continue to change. My husband has shared with me the deep frustration and sadness he felt as he noticed the changes in his body. He told me how society's narrow definition of masculinity had weighed on him, making him feel inadequate or less of a man when he could no longer perform as he once had. Hearing him articulate those feelings broke my heart, not because he felt them, many men do, but because I had always seen him as so much more than his physicality. His worth to me was never tied to his body. He was my partner, my confidant, and my source of strength. I told him this, not just once but often. I reminded him that what made him a man in my eyes was his ability to love deeply, to care selflessly, and to make me feel safe and cherished. Those qualities were far more powerful, far more enduring, than anything physical could ever be. In turn, I shared my own vulnerabilities with him. I admitted that, yes, the physical changes were surprising at first, but they never diminished my love or desire for him. On the contrary, navigating these changes together brought us closer, teaching us how to communicate in ways we hadn't before. We became more intentional in expressing our needs, not just in intimacy but in every facet of our lives. That communication became a cornerstone of our relationship, a thread that kept the spark alive, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. As we continued on this journey together, we found our focus shifting even further toward emotional intimacy. We began to understand that sex was not simply a physical act, but an extension of the emotional and spiritual connection we shared. When that connection was strong, the physical aspects of intimacy became less about performance and more about presence, being fully there for each other in mind, body, and heart. This realization transformed our moments of closeness, making them richer and more fulfilling than we ever could have imagined in our younger years. For my husband, accepting his body as it was opened doors to self-discovery and self-care. He began paying attention to his overall health, embracing habits that supported both his body and mind. He adopted a balanced diet, stayed active with light exercises, and even practiced relaxation techniques to manage stress and anxiety. These changes not only improved his physical well-being, but also had a profound effect on his emotional health. As he let go of the pressure to perform, he found a sense of freedom that allowed his body to respond more naturally during our moments of intimacy. It was as though removing the weight of expectation had unlocked a new kind of ease, one that brought joy back into our private moments. This journey, however, was not without its challenges. Progress was not linear. It came with ups and downs, moments of triumph interspersed with moments of doubt. There were times when my husband's frustration resurfaced, when he would look at his body with disappointment or feel overwhelmed by insecurity. On those days, we leaned on each other, reminding ourselves of how far we had come and of the love that remained steadfast, even in the face of these struggles. Slowly but surely, the moments of doubt became less frequent, replaced by a growing confidence and peace within him. For me, this journey has been a lesson in gratitude. I've learned to see our bodies not as sources of frustration, but as living maps of our shared history. Every line on my face, every scar on his body, every change we've experienced, these are not imperfections. They are stories. They speak of the laughter we've shared, the battles we've fought, and the love we've built. My wrinkles are a testament to years of smiling. His scars are reminders of his resilience. Together, our bodies tell the story of a life well lived, a love well tended. Through it all, we've come to understand that intimacy is a reflection of the soul. It's not about physical perfection or meeting arbitrary standards. It's about showing up for each other, being present in every sense of the word. It's about the quiet moments of connection, the shared laughter, the gentle touches that speak louder than words. It's about knowing that even as time changes us, it cannot diminish the bond we share. This journey has reminded me that love, at its core, is not static. It grows, evolves, and deepens with time. It requires effort, patience, and a willingness to embrace change. And when we do, the rewards are immeasurable. Together, my husband and I have built something beautiful, a relationship that thrives not despite the challenges of aging, but because of how we've chosen to face them, hand in hand. This, I believe, is the true essence of intimacy, not perfection, but presence, not youth, but resilience, and not performance, but connection. It is a love that endures, a love that grows richer with each passing year, a love that I will cherish for the rest of my days. We also discovered the unexpected gift of humor in navigating the changes we face together. Laughter became our refuge, our secret weapon against the awkwardness that could arise in the bedroom. If something didn't go as planned, if an attempt at intimacy faltered or a moment became less than perfect, we learned to laugh, to let the tension dissipate in shared amusement. A simple chuckle could turn what might have been an uncomfortable moment into one filled with love and lightness. We would hug, kiss, and continue enjoying the moment, knowing that life's imperfections were not obstacles but opportunities to grow closer. Humor, we realized, is a bridge between hearts, a gentle reminder not to take things too seriously. After all, life itself is a mosaic of flaws and beauty, and it is in the imperfections that its true charm resides. As the years continue to pass, so does the evolution of our sexual relationship. It is no longer solely about physical acts or passionate intensity, but about a deeper connection, a tenderness that transcends the body. We have found joy in the simple things, the soft brush of a hand against a cheek, the warmth of a lingering hug, or the sweet intimacy of whispered words before drifting off to sleep. Kind words, loving gestures, and moments of unspoken understanding have taken the place of what once was our primary expression of intimacy. And yet, these moments feel no less meaningful. In fact, they feel more profound, because they are rooted in a love that has been tested, weathered, and strengthened over time. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. The journey through the changes in my husband's body became more than just an adjustment. It became a masterclass in acceptance, patience, and love. We were forced to confront societal standards that had, for so long, dictated our perceptions of beauty and worth. We learned to reject the notion that our value was tied to performance or appearance. Instead, we found solace in what truly matters, the connection we share, the intimacy we cultivate, and the mutual respect that forms the foundation of our partnership. Every change, every challenge, became an invitation to grow, to deepen our understanding of one another, and to explore new ways of expressing love. Looking back on all we've experienced, I feel a profound sense of gratitude. While the fiery passion of youth has its place in charm, there is a quiet beauty in the love that matures with age. It is a love that is steady, enduring, and serene. A love that does not waver with the trials of life, but grows richer with each passing year. This kind of love cannot be rushed. It is earned through shared laughter, tears, and the willingness to stand by each other through every twist and turn of the journey. For anyone facing similar changes, my message is simple yet vital. Do not be afraid. Do not fear the conversations that feel difficult or the emotions that seem overwhelming. Talk to each other openly and honestly. Embrace what your bodies are experiencing, for aging is as natural as the sunrise and the changing seasons. Each stage of life brings its own unique beauty, and with the right mindset, every chapter can be as meaningful, as pleasurable, and as fulfilling as the one before. The physical aspects, size, firmness, and appearance, are but small parts of the larger story. True masculinity and true connection lie not in meeting societal expectations, but in the courage to love deeply and the strength to accept love in return. True pleasure comes not from perfection, but from the ability to be present, to give yourself fully, and to embrace the vulnerability of intimacy. None of this is dependent on the body alone. It is a reflection of the heart and soul that you bring into the relationship. As we age together, I am continually reminded of the incredible gift that is this shared life. With each passing year, we continue to learn, to love, and to connect. We discover new layers to our relationship, finding joy and comfort in the simple act of being together. And that, for me, is the true treasure of growing older. The knowledge that love does not fade with time but deepens, that intimacy does not disappear but transforms, and that connection, when nurtured, becomes the most precious gift of all. As I hold his hand and look into his eyes, I see a lifetime of memories reflected back at me. I see the young man who once swept me off my feet, and the partner who has walked beside me through every joy and hardship. I see the man who has learned to embrace his vulnerabilities and, in doing so, has grown stronger. And I see the promise of all the days yet to come, filled with laughter, love, and the quiet peace of knowing that what we share is timeless. So, to anyone reading this, know that love, true, enduring love, is not about the physical. It is about the way you make each other feel, the way you lift each other up, and the way you face life's challenges as a team. Aging is not the end. It is a continuation, a chance to deepen your connection and to cherish each moment together. And for that, I am endlessly grateful. What about you? What have you learned from this story? Did it spark any thoughts about your own journey in love and intimacy? Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned in the comments below. What's one practice or perspective you'd like to bring into your life after watching this video? If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories, insights, and inspiration about love, aging, and everything in between. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments below.